All right, so what we're going to be going over here is um, essentially explaining each of my slides and how they pertain to the client. So this is just the intro slide, nothing extremely important here, but now we get into a brief overview of my presentation and what it's going to look like. So we're going to start with the research, go into the cost optimization tools, and then we have the executive partner, which we discuss. So going from here, we're going to start with the research. On the right here, you can see the techniques that are used for research. Experts analyze different scenarios, surveys, pattern recognition, stalking horse, and then each thing is verified very thoroughly and vetted. And so each of these are pretty self-explanatory, except for the stalking horse, where a certain position is kind of taken by a bunch of analysts and analyzed from a bunch of different angles. Going into our next slide, we have our proprietary methodologies, and we're going to begin with the magic quadrant and demonstrate that and then explain how to use it. So the magic quadrant essentially just gives enterprise technology shoppers an unbiased assessment of how well competing providers are performing against Gartner's market view, and it is supplemented by validated user reviews. So what our customers use this for is they use it as the first step to understanding the tech providers you might consider for a specific investment opportunity. And this actually goes hand in hand with our next slide, which is the critical capabilities. And so what the critical capabilities is used for by customers is it's paired with the magic quadrant in order to gain a better view and to compare product and service offerings. So by being able to do this better, they're really able to gain a holistic view of the offerings that are provided to them and make an informed decision. Going into our next slide, we have the hype cycle, which is essentially a view of how a technology or application will evolve over time. But what we allow our customers to have with this is we separate the hype from real drivers, and we reduce investment risk for them. So now we're going to be going into our market clock. And so our market clock is pretty simple. It's just used to optimize product or roadmap decisions for our customers. And so it's shown here on the left. In our next slide, we have our market guide. And so for our market guide, we provide insight to manage risk when investing in emerging markets. And we provide an understanding of potential evolution of those markets for our customers. It's pretty simple. Other than that, there is a brief description on the left as well. Now we're going to move into our vendor rating. And so our vendor rating, the use that our customers have for this is that it displays how providers stack up and are positioned for the long term, in addition to assessing their strength and helping manage our providers' portfolio or their providers' portfolio risk. Going into our next slide, we have our Gartner score. This is essentially just to help our clients understand where they should be placing more emphasis. And so it helps them understand where they should be prioritizing at the current time. In regards to market share, we have a methodology where clients are given a lot of information, and it's used to validate clients' assessment of a market's leading providers. Next, we have our market forecast, which helps our clients understand market opportunities and identify changing market conditions. So now we're going to go into our cost optimization. Here we have our IT key metrics tool and our IT budget tool. What the IT key metrics tool does is it provides over 90 individual reports, which represents a huge amount of data points, which are captured from over 80 countries across 21 vertical industries. And then our budget tool enables clients to compare their IT metrics to others in the industry. What's great about these is they answer the questions on the left, like, can you prove that you're delivering value? Does your IT spending drive value? Can you sustain your baseline costs and where to improve? In addition to, are you making valid comparisons to similar contracts? Do you have market insights to support contract renegotiations? Can you measure the price for your service provider? These on the bottom over here actually go really well with our our contract tool. And so what we have here is we have the contract review service, in which we've been proven to save 15 to 20% on contracts for 3 out of 4 contracts for each of our clients. And so here on the right, you can see a little graph for the amount of savings that you'll have depending on the contract. So this is the price of contract, and this is how much savings you'll have. Now we're going to go into our executive partner. This is just an example I drew up from some of our previous executive partners and some of our current. This is pretty fair for them. Worked at huge companies, many years of experience, and they would be used to help you out. So what we have set up with them is you're able to sit down with them once a month, and you're also able to have an annual workshop with them. And so for our next slide, we go into pricing. Pricing is pretty straightforward. If it's just the CIO, it's going to be 50,000 for year 1, 51.5 for year 2, 51 or 53.1 for year 3. It has to be a 3-year deal. For each additional license, 15, 15.5, 16. And so our renewal rate is 90%, and I hope that you choose to join with us. Thank you.